My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. Every single week, we break down full UFC fight cards. We give you our predictions, our bets, and our fantasy plays. So make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our content. And this video is brought to you by BETU Play to Earn. BETU Play to Earn is the world's first online sports and esports betting game. Check it out now at betuearn.com. That's bet, the letter U, earn.com. This is going to be the most controversial fight that we break down. I'm sure of it. You guys were already in the live chat talking about it a good 40 minutes ago. And now we're finally here because next up at UFC Vegas 50, we have Alex Pereira taking on Bruno Silva in a battle of the big power middleweight strikers. Alex Pereira is only 4-1 in his MMA career, and that's because he had a very successful professional kickboxing run. He's coming off a great UFC debut with a KO over Michailidis. Bruno Silva, 22-6 overall. He hasn't lost since 2016, and he's riding a 7-fight stoppage streak. And Bruno Silva, he had a 3-year layoff in there because of PEDs, which, whatever, is what it is. But he came back after that. He came back after that, and he had a very busy and a very, very successful run in 2021 with 3 fights and 3 knockouts. His last fight was in December where he knocked out Jordan Wright in the first round. But before that, he had that come-from-behind knockout win to save himself from losing a decision to Andrew Sanchez. Andrew Sanchez had taken him down 7 times in that fight. But that showed me that Bruno has the mental and physical toughness to just never be out of a fight. I mean, he was clear that dude was going to lose a decision, and he just pulled himself up and just knocked him out, and then that was the end of it. He's fantastic striker. He does have solid BJJ, and I keep talking about his knockouts and his power, but he can absolutely ground and pound. Not all of those knockout wins on his record are standing. A lot of them were ground and pound, and he is good. A good jiu-jitsu guy as well. Alex Pereira, he's a very high-level kickboxer. He's famous for knocking out Israel Adesanya in a kickboxing match. Alex is exactly as good of a striker as you would expect him to be. He has great leg kicks, great body kicks, great power, and everything is well-timed. Everything is well-distanced. The big question anyone has when these big high-level strikers come over to the UFC is, will the takedown defense hold up? Well, we know he's training in Connecticut with Glover. He's definitely getting the work in. And even in that Michailidis fight, he was taken down twice, but he popped right back up both times, never lost his composure, and then obviously ended up winning by knockout. This should be a really fun fight. We've got 2 guys that are only looking to stand. We may see Bruno Silva shoot some takedowns, and he does have that ability. We just haven't seen it in forever. But he can grapple. Go back, watch some of his older fights, not in the UFC, and he can grapple. But I am thinking these guys are going to stand up. We've got Bruno with the raw power and the MMA experience, Pereira with the power and the kickboxing credentials. And if this was a kickboxing-only match with kickboxing gloves, obviously Alex Pereira wins this easy. But this is MMA. This is the small gloves, and there's threats of takedowns. Bruno does have 0 takedowns in the UFC, but that doesn't mean he's not going to try some here. He's not clueless. He knows who he's fighting and what he's up against in this fight. He just hits so incredibly hard, and as much as I love seeing high-level kickboxers like Alex Pereira come over, as much as I love seeing that, some of these guys get used to blocking with the kickboxing gloves, and they keep them here. They're high, they're tight, and they're big, round gloves that will block a lot of those shots coming in. But these little MMA gloves, this block here still isn't enough, and those little gloves can get right through. So I actually am taking the chance on Bruno Silva here. I think he can sneak something in. I think he has incredible power. Everybody, I totally understand why we're so high on Alex Pereira. The dude only has 5 MMA fights, and this is an MMA fight. So I like Bruno Silva here. He has the same power as Alex Pereira. He will not be nearly as technical, but you brawl a boxer, right? So if he makes it dirty, ugly, comes in swinging heavy, big, powerful overhands in volume, I could see some getting through. He mixes in some takedowns. All of a sudden, it's a frustrating night. I'm taking a chance on Bruno Silva. I got 1 unit on him as plus 165, and that line has moved. I am not the only one with that mindset. And before I pass it to you, Razor Rob McCullough is another name that comes to mind. World champion kickboxer. Went over to the WEC and just kept getting knocked out because his blocking style just doesn't work. And a lot of those big, heavy gloves, you can get hit a little more than with the little gloves, and it just didn't transition as well. Now I'm done with that. What are your thoughts? Wait, hold on. Very last thing. Who just tried to bet me? Somebody just tried to bet me in the live chat on this fight. From now on, I am only betting members, right? I've supposed to have won $600 off of you people. The only people that have actually paid me when they lost were members. So from now on, if you want to bet me, click the join button, become a member, and then I'm happy to bet you. Jacob.
I am a member, and I would like to bet you. Would you want to do the 100? Would you want to do the 150?
You gonna give me odds?
Yeah. You get 100 if Bruno wins. I get 50 if Alex wins.
All right, done.
Easy, very easy. Yeah, so this is going to be Alex Pereira fight all the way. This was tailor-made for Alex Pereira. I would not even be surprised if we see Alex Pereira use offensive grappling against Bruno Silva. I mean, that seems crazy for a kickboxer, but I mean, he is in Glover's camp. You got Wellington Turner in that camp. I mean, there's been a lot of grappling, I'm sure, getting ready for this camp because, obviously the striking is already there for Alex Pereira. So he's going to be ready for the grappling. I wouldn't be surprised if he turns the tables a little bit, shows a little bit of a takedown threat like Andrew Sanchez that drops the hands of Bruno Silva, and then all of a sudden it's issues for Alex Pereira. Bruno Silva is already a guy that kind of he doesn't keep his hands up very well at all times, and he is a guy with power, and he really only has one loss in the last 10 years, which is kind of crazy. I know he had that little drop because of the PEDs, but that's still one loss in the last 10 years, but he better keep his hands up in this matchup, man, because I think this was tailor-made to show off Alex Pereira yet again on a main card. I think the pay-per-view main card is next for this guy. He is the real deal. Last time I won a bunch of money on Wellington because I believed in Glover and the camp that they run. Glover being the champ, I think that elevated everyone's level in that camp. I think everyone's working twice as hard around Glover, the light heavyweight champion of the world, who I can't wait to see fight later this summer and defend that title. I'm going the Glover effect. I'm going Alex Pereira 100%. I just made that bet with you, and he's probably gonna be my. What's the DraftKings? Can you flip back?
Very expensive.
I think he finds a knockout.
Listen, whatever side you're on, 100% one of these guys should be in your lineup. Whatever side you're on. I'm obviously on Bruno Silva's side, but this will not go the distance. It just can't. There's too much power flying around that this will not go the distance. What are the odds for does not go the distance?
I don't know. Let me check for you. Jamie, can you look that up for us?
People are trying to bet me left and right now. Plague Runner, I'll do the $20. I think you're a member, right? So
no is minus 600. Yeah, so, have fun. Have fun.
It's cheaper to bet both sides.
You can get under. You can get under 1.5 for minus 170.
I mean, even that, those are just not good enough odds. Anyway, I do think Monkey Knife Fight is probably less as well. These seem pretty high when we're talking about two guys that hit as hard as they do. Especially because Pereira's last fight, he was defending some takedowns and stuff. So I think Monkey Knife Fight is less. And listen, Monkey Knife Fight has something called Knockout Kings. You pick any 3 fighters on the.
Yeah, everyone pay attention to this. Listen to this. This is important.
Anyway, Monkey Knife Fight. WeWantPicks.com/MKF. You jump in there. It's daily fantasy, super legal, super easy, super fun. They have a game called Knockout Kings. You pick any 3 fighters, any 3 on the entire card. And if one of them wins by knockout, you get a 25% net return on your money. 25% net profit if one person wins by knockout. Take both of these guys, throw them in there, grab whatever third person you want, max play the hell out of it, and you will make a whole bunch of money. It's 25%. You're not tripling your money, not quadrupling. But it is a guarantee that one of these guys is going to lose by KO or TKO, and you will get that 25%. I just hammer it. Hammer the hell out of it. Sorry, Chris from Monkey Knife Fight, but sometimes this happens, and there will be a knockout here.